So we have in the house today Randy Plaice with Keller Williams VIP Properties, and he has already been sharing what's important about today, basically how to be successful in today's real estate market, and it's challenging right now. Before it was challenging because of home values going down and this and that, but there's a lot more challenges.
Well, there are a lot more challenges, and you mentioned a key word. You mentioned that Randy's successful. And what's important about that is a lot of times when we talk about real estate agents as successful, people think it's an ego thing. But no, but the reality is that, Randy, if you're successful, that means your clients are successful.
Ooh,
that means they got what
Gino.
they wanted.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Pearls of wisdom from Gino Fronti. No, that's a good point. That's a really good point, Gino. And that's why we chose you, Randy, because we know you are successful. We know you love what you do. You're so into it. You're 100% into it, and you're passionate and stuff. And what I like is you brought up an important piece, and we do see it too, because I've been in the industry since 1987, a long time. And you mentioned that only the best are going to survive, and I believe that too, because there was 700,000 loan officers, believe it or not, nationwide. Now we're down to 120,000 nationwide. That's a pretty dramatic decrease. Same thing with real estate agents. We don't bring on just somebody who says they're a real estate agent. We bring on professionals like you, and you even talked about how you're going to survive, and I'm telling you, you have to do the quote that you quoted me from Clint Eastwood's Heartbreak Ridge.
Yeah, in Heartbreak Ridge, he addresses what Marines need to do in order to survive, and basically he says, "We're Marines. We adapt. We overcome."
Not bad. Not bad.
Okay, my impersonation is not great. I warned you on the break. My impersonation is not fantastic, but the content still applies. And as agents, we do have to constantly evolve, and we have to understand the needs of our clients as it's ever changing. Short sales and all those kinds of things, notwithstanding.
Yeah, actually, speaking about short sales a little bit, we talked about buyers and sellers in a possibly regular market, but this has really been the year of the short sales. Short sales are successful if you're working with the right agent, and it's a great way to liberate yourself from probably one of the most stressful things in your life is being completely upside down in your home and maybe having a difficult time, making that payment. So I know that you help clients regularly with short sales and successfully as well.
Absolutely. And when you're saying that I'm successful, thank you for saying that. But, one of the things that you were touching on is that I am successful for my clients as well from getting out from under that burden. And it is a huge burden. I mean, these people are under immense stress. Oftentimes their families are suffering because of the stress and just the overall turmoil they're going through. And by servicing their needs and making sure that we get the short sale on the market priced correctly and exposed to the market correctly and under contract, we're able to push back those dates and ultimately get them into a position where they can be out from under it, as opposed to it going to foreclosure and then all the repercussions and ramifications that ultimately come from that.
And that's a great point. If you just tuned in, we're with Randy Plaice with Keller Williams VIP Properties, talking about short sales. And the reason we bring that up is they're not over. They're not done. There's a lot of you out there that are still questioning, what should I do with my home? Or, unfortunately, there are still people getting laid off. Personally, my wife and I know, we just talked about 3 people we know that just got laid off. So the turbulent times are not over, so you still need, might have that question, what do I do? Who do I turn to? And can I talk to somebody who's not going to just try to sell my home, that's going to give me solid advice, that really knows their job, they're successful at doing it, and has a team behind them to do that? And I know, Randy, you've been very successful, as you mentioned. You love the opportunity to talk to people. Whether it is the short seller or not, you'll give them solid advice, and you have a team to help you with that.
Absolutely. When I take on a short sale listing, I employ a third-party negotiator, Real Pro Advantage.
The best.
The best.
They've been on our show a few times, by the way. I mean, Amy and
fantastic.
Jeff. My goodness.
Amy, Jeff, Archie, all the people over there are fantastic. They're top tier. And what they do is they negotiate the deal once we have the offer in place. They get the short sale package together. They get it submitted. They have the relationships. They make it happen. Fantastic team to have behind you. And for me, what I do is I identify clients that are in need. I have that consultation, and I explain to them that my services are 100% free of charge to them, which a lot of people don't know. They think that somehow they're going to have to come out of pocket, and they're already struggling financially, and they don't have the means to do it. And then once I have that consultation, I understand their unique situation. I'm able to tailor a plan for them, or not. Sometimes it's in their best interest not to sell, and find a way to come out of it. And if that's the case, I'm more than happy to give them that advice as well.
Yeah, there's 2 things that you mentioned there that are critical to me. Number one is, if you can hire someone to do a short sale for you, to give you advice, and you get that for free, wouldn't you want to hire the absolute best person if it comes for free?
Good point, Gino.
Sometimes you can't afford the best in life. There's certain things you just can't afford. You may not be able to afford the best attorney. You may not be able to afford the best car. But when you can get a service for free and it's being paid by somebody else, get the best real estate agent. Absolutely, 100% for sure that's the right thing to do.
Gino, you are on fire today, buddy.
Trying.
Nice. That's great stuff, because you just picked out some great stuff that Randy, alluded to, is that importance of, hey, my services are free. You might, and the other thing we talked about, I don't want to forget, was that you do a great job of relieving their stress, because it's probably one of the most stressful things, as you said, Gino, in their lives, and you've relieved that to where actually you make it where, like, hey, this is a great thing. This whole short sale thing is great for us. It's alleviated our burden. It's made us feel good, and you make them feel good about it because you educate them and give them a path towards that direction, and I applaud you at that, Randy. It's very cool.
Thank you for that. And speaking on that, I did have a client who called me, and they were saying, okay, we think it's too late. We think it's one of the situations where it's going to go to foreclosure. Their sale date was already set for Monday, and this was a Friday afternoon.
No stress there.
No stress at all. They had already thrown the towel, but they had one last ditch effort to try to find a way to make something happen. They called me. We had a conversation. He understood the fact that he needed to do a bankruptcy. I put him in contact with my bankruptcy attorney. He did the process over the weekend, and we got the delay. We got an offer. He's looking great. So now him and his family are in a much better financial situation, in the sense that now all the burden is off him. The discharge is about to happen. They're about to get the short sale completed and done. And now they're just in a better place where they're not worried. They can focus on their 4 children. He can focus on his wife who just had a birthday. And all that burden is now off them. And now they can focus on rebuilding and what the next stage of their life is going to look like.
And that's actually the best point, and one of the things that Don and I touched on for the last year, and the reason that we did the show was to share that there is hope, that you really can take from where you are and get to where you want to be by having great advice and a great team. Like you mentioned, having a bankruptcy and doing it before you short sell a home, sometimes people don't realize how important that is. You may not qualify to do a bankruptcy after you've eliminated your home, so that's key that you have the right people in place to give timely advice and make sure that they do things in the right order. Otherwise, you may not get the outcome you're looking for.
Absolutely, it's very important that you identify the correct order, and you educate your clients as best you can about that order and what the ramifications of doing it this way versus that.
And having a team behind you. I mean, I know at Cherry Creek, our team just rocks. We have the best of the best in place to help our clients out and walk them through the stages, each stage, and we have the people in the right positions. And you mentioned having a great BK attorney, having a great negotiation team, which was nice. Is that's why you're so successful, Randy, is it allows you to focus on what you do best, which is basically guiding and consulting your clients towards the best avenue for them based on their goals, their desires, their particular scenario.
And it frees me up to work on my relationships and further my relationships with my existing clients.
I love that.
Because it's important. This is a relationship environment. This is all about relationships, knowing, liking, and trusting the people that you work with and that you surround yourself with. And I love my clients. My clients and I have a great working relationship, and a lot of that is because I have the ability to focus my time on them as opposed to focusing on the
paperwork,
and things like that I don't necessarily excel at. Right. So I bring on the best of the best to offset that and to bring a high level of service across the board for every need.
No, I think, that's one of the most, for all of us, right? For all of us who have teams, we've identified that we're not good at every single piece of the job. And we've identified that there's certain aspects of the job that should be taken care of, somebody who's absolutely the best at that piece. And by doing that, we're more successful and are able to deliver what we promise.
And we're also doing a higher level of service for our clients. Because if I'm trying to wear every hat, and some hats don't necessarily fit me, as correctly as, say, Amy at RealPro would, I could try to negotiate it myself and make more money, but ultimately it's about serving the client. And by bringing on Amy, sure, I make less money, but I provide a higher level of service for my client. And it makes it easier for me as well because I can focus on what I do best, which is consult and build those relationships.
So if you want to focus on the best, we have him right here in our studio today, Randy Plaice with Keller Williams VIP Properties. You need to talk to Randy. How's the best way to get a hold of you, Randy?
By phone, it's 661-505-8531, or you can visit my website, which is randyplaice.com.
Don't forget the I.
Plaice, place.com. And Randy, thank you for being on our show today. Stick around because we want you to hang out and hear with a great